Tory Lanez's motion for a new trial has been denied. What up, world? It's your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Okay, man, I don't like to see men go to prison. I say it time and time again. I'm not an advocate for prison, the prison system. I didn't create it. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's just, right? But that's what the world is. That's what we living in. And sometimes you do crimes, you go to prison. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish there was another way to do it, but that's not what it is. Tory Lanez went on a very long road to get where he is now. But at the end of the day, I know there was a lot of people who did not and still do not believe that Tory Lanez shot at Megan Thee Stallion's feet in a drunken fit of rage and anger, and then tried to cover it up and offer her money for it, which she did not take, and her team came down like a hammer. Now, there was a lot of problems with this case. There was a lot of things that did not make any sense. And there were a lot of stories that changed and spun around and turned into this, that, and the third. But here we are, May 9th, 2023, and Tory Lanez did not get an appeal. He did not get he wanted a new trial, not an appeal. He wanted a new trial. And at the end of the day, that is very detrimental because now it's over. Now whatever time is coming, he got to do it. And he allegedly asked the judge, please don't ruin my life. I could be your son. I could be your brother. It's in the judge's hands. So I'm going to read a little bit and we're going to go from there. Earlier, it was reported that Tory Lanez appeared in court to find out about getting a new trial in the Megan Thee Stallion shooting. LA Mag reporter Megan Cunniff went on to say that Tory spoke to the judge as he was let out in handcuffs. Please don't ruin my life. I could be your son. I could be your brother. Now it's been reported that his motion has been denied. Quote, Tory Lanez would not get a new trial for the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. This is according to Judge David Hereford, who ruled from the bench a few minutes ago. Along with that, it was noted that the lawyers for the rapper filed a motion to disclose Judge Hereford from the Lanez case. They're trying to get the judge kicked off the case for whatever reason. I don't know why. It says that the argument is all over the place, but they're upset that he doesn't need to hear testimony from defense experts. They're trying to get him off the case because he won't give him a new one. Okay, so I understand that strategy. All right, just wanted to know what that was about. So she went on to say, court just let out for the day. The judge is going to issue his ruling tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Tory Lanez spoke to him before he was let out in handcuffs. There wasn't a commotion. A sheriff's deputy was urging Lanez to shut up, but it wasn't a big thing. Hereford didn't say anything back. Lanez was let out of the courtroom without incident. This followed long argument this afternoon. More details. This is what she tweeted. Tweet kind of crazy. Another detail pointed out that Lanez's defense, when trying to argue for a new trial, found Jose Baez saying a love triangle story involving Lanez, Megan, and Kylie hurt the defense. So there was a lot of stuff that hurt the defense. But I'm not going to get into all that because in the end of the day, I feel like Tory took a real wild swing going to trial with this, with all of the evidence. And you could say the girl shot this and that, but that don't point to the evidence. At the end of the day, if it was in evidence, it would have made a difference, and it didn't, and now this dude's getting sentenced. My whole thing about this is I feel like Tory should have took a plea. He should have actually, instead of trying to fight this case in public, he should have been quiet with it. He should have been very quiet with it. And he should have said, I am remorseful. Whether he did it or not, he should have said. I'm not sure I understand. He should have said, I am remorseful. He should have said, I am remorseful, whether he did it or not. And threw himself on the mercy of the court. He probably would have got out with no time. But he took it to trial and tried to beat it. He tried to beat the system, and the system beat him. So right now is where we're going to find out. And I hope he don't do a whole lot of time. He got his whole life ahead of him, right? Now, the only thing I could say is if that's my sister, I don't want to do getting out in 3 months that he done shot my sister feet up, right? So it's a slippery slope. A lot of people want to see him get loose and get out and do whatever and go back to his career, but they're not thinking about it as if there was their family member or their daughter or their girlfriend or whatever. They're not thinking of it like that. Because I guarantee you, they would have tried to knock his head off if it was their family member or something like that. So end of the day, Tory got a whole lot of thinking to do, whether he gets 5 years, 2 years, 10. He got a lot of thinking to do. We just saw Bobby Shmurda do 7, right? 7, was it 7 or 9? I think it was 7. Came out, Bobby Shmurda been out about 3 years. So it's possible for him to do 5 years, 7 years. Like, no, who wants to do it? That's whack. But he can do that, come right back on a horse, come right back out on the horse, jump right back into the saddle, and be right back where he was. So I wish him the best, and I really don't want nobody to go to jail for an incident that was a drunken thing where, yes, there were shots fired, but no one was killed. So let's see what happens. And I'm not making excuses for him because I think it's lame. I said it in the beginning when everybody was jumping on me. If he did it, he's a sucker. It's sucker stuff. Pulling out a gun, shooting at girls' feet is sucker stuff. And really need to get knocked out for some crazy stuff like that. But end of the day, I don't feel like it's always the answer is prison. There's other ways to pay restitution. And with that note, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you think. Should the judge give him the max? Should the judge let him go? Did he do it? Did he not do it? Is Megan moving on? Is she actually... A lot of people said she set him up. A lot of people said Rock Nation set him up. A lot of people saying that she was lying from day one and she used her team and her influence to arrest her and to get an innocent man prison time. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.